Oshkosh rocks!
We're at the Oshkosh Public Museum. We are very fortunate in this community to have such a cool museum owned by the public. Everyone should come and check this place out. Today we have Brad, our director of the museum. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how this museum is so special for Oshkosh?
Well, it is unusual for a community of this size to have a museum like this. Our collections are just incredible. We have about 250,000 items in our collection. We're run by a professional staff of 10. So it's really a wonderful gem for the city of Oshkosh. And the house that we're in right now was once belonged to Edgar Sawyer. It was built in 1908, 1909. It was to be Edgar and Mary's dream house. They really put their everything into this house. And when it was completed in 1909, they moved in, but they only lived here for a very short time, about 8 months. And then Mary was not feeling well, so they moved down to Georgia. They thought that the climate in Georgia would be better for her health. But she died down there of congestive heart failure. So they brought Mary back. She's buried in Riverside Cemetery. And Edgar kept this house as a fully functioning household with his servants, but he didn't stay here very often, once in a while.
It's pretty nice to be able to have a home like this with servants and not even be here.
Well, Edgar had the money to do it. And this house was considered the finest in the state of Wisconsin. He was very proud of it, but it had a lot of bad memories, you know, with Mary passing. So in 1922, he donated it to the city of Oshkosh.
Wow.
And at that time, it was valued at $250,000, which in today's money would be over $3 million. And the city debated what should they do with this wonderful house and this big chunk of property. And they put it up to the citizens, and the citizens decided they wanted a public museum. So a public museum was formally created in 1924. We were the second public museum in the state of Wisconsin. So that's a real feather in our cap.
Yeah.
And the collections grew very rapidly after that. The collections grew through philanthropy. They also grew from people in the community donating things. And the breadth of the collection is really, I think, a real strong point for us. We have wonderful art collections, folk art collections. Our history collections are the strongest, dating back really to the early 1800s, all the way up to the 21st century. So the collections are always the heart. The Sawyer home continues to be the heart. Everybody's got a place in their heart for the Sawyer home because it really represents the museum to a lot of people. And as I said, there's thousands of people in the community whose family has some little bit of themselves here in the museum.
Can you tell me how many people come through, and do you have children that come through, and kind of give us a feel of who sees this beautiful place?
About 30,000 people a year come through. We're strongly geared toward families, and in fact, it's about 60% of our audience is families. That may change a little bit depending on what exhibition we mount, and every year we have a lot of different exhibitions, all geared toward different segments of the community to try to engage a lot of different people. We also do a lot of outreach, things out in the cemetery, things in schools. A lot of kids come through. We're very family friendly, so we pride ourselves actually on that.
Great. Great. All right, Brad, thank you very much for telling us a little bit about the history. We're going to talk to Megan, Director of Marketing here, and hear a little bit more about what's happening today at the museum. So thanks a lot.
You're very welcome.
And we're here with Megan, the Director of Marketing here at the museum. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened with the fire and then what happened after that?
Yeah, in 1994, we had a huge fire here at the museum. And it was actually, at the time, one of the most devastating fires in museum history. We lost tons of artifacts. Lots of artifacts were completely destroyed. Others were damaged. After that, we closed the museum for a while, came in, did all of our remodeling, got the building back up to par. And that's when we switched over to a lot of new permanent exhibits. We've installed our Wetlands and Waterways exhibit, that focuses on the natural history of the Lake Winnebago region. We also showcase the Payne lumber model, going into resources and stuff that were important in the turn of the century. And Memories and Dreams is another exhibit area that we developed, very hands-on, a lot of great stuff for kids.
Let's talk about the fire a little bit more. I would think it was so devastating. How did you know that you could bring it back? I mean, I thought the museum might be gone forever. Who was here to make it, to turn it around?
It was a very devastating fire, but we had great community support because they saw what a treasure the museum was here. And we established the Phoenix Fund to help relaunch the.
That's a great name.
Yeah,
for it.
come out of the ashes, relaunch the museum, and a lot of funds from that helped us to develop these new exhibits. Great work on behalf of the museum staff, getting everything rolling again, and other community partners who offered areas for us to house our artifacts while we had to take them out of the building. A lot of community partnerships and really pulled together.
It's terrific to hear that the community backs stuff like that.
Yes.
That's so important. So the water, you mentioned the waterways exhibit. Is that specific to just wetlands, or are there motorboats and other things there too?
Yep, it hits on a little bit of everything. A lot of natural history from fur traders' times, Native Americans, all the way up to sailing competitions, stuff that was important early 1900s and stuff like that. So natural history and recreation, just the importance of the waterways to this region.
I see. And the paint exhibit, what's that all about?
That is a huge model upstairs with the Payne lumber model, actually not even the entire lumber model, we couldn't fit it all in one room, shows all the different buildings and resources and how the lumber mill was set up at the time of its, when it was booming here in Oshkosh. And it's really something to see just how large of a mill that they had.
Cool. I know when my kids were younger, they used to come in and want to go into the attic. Is the attic still up there?
Yes, Grandma's attic is still up there. We have lots of great hands-on stuff. You can sit down, try your hand at a old typewriter, something that kids aren't familiar with these days. You can page through old yearbooks from Oshkosh, play with toys that you probably wouldn't have sitting around in your house today. It's just a good hands-on flashback for kids of all ages, not just little kids.
Cool. And the clock? Tell us about the clock.
The clock has been here since 1948, still one of our top attractions. Chimes every hour on the hour. It's built late 1800s. It's over 100 years old, and it's still working really great. So it's something to see. About a three-minute display, and people come from all over the state to watch it go off.
You must have one person on staff that just keeps the clock working.
Yes, we have Bill Radig, our exhibit technician, has done some amazing things with the clock. He did a complete restoration in 2006, and it really needed it. After 100 years of going strong, it had started to show some wear and tear, so it was really important to keep it going good.
Can you tell us just a few exhibits that you've had in the past that it travel in, and then maybe a couple that might be coming in the future?
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the museum. In addition to our permanent exhibits like Wetlands and Waterways and Memories and Dreams, Grandma's Attic, we have traveling exhibits such ones as Titanic. That was probably our most popular. Everybody came to see that one. Yep. We had Out of This World, which showed costumes from science fiction and adventure films. That was just here a little while ago. The Art of Jan Brett showed paintings and interactive games for children from the author-illustrator Jan Brett. Those are some of our popular past exhibits. Upcoming, the Era of Public Enemies will merge history in Hollywood and sort of focus on the Public Enemies movie and also what was going on in the 1930s and the circumstances that led up to the crime wave. We have a lot of Oshkosh history exhibits that'll be coming up, temporary exhibits such as homemade holidays, focusing on ways to give over the holidays that might not break the bank.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I think everybody should come and check this place out. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's an excellent place to visit. We have a lot going on here. Other than our exhibits, we do programming on a regular basis and events, and it's a fun place to be.
Great. Well, Megan, thanks a lot for talking to us.
Thanks so much for
I
coming.
appreciate us coming in and seeing you.
Yeah, it was great seeing you too.